Have you ever had an espresso soda? It is so good. Howdy, hey, it's Casey. Welcome back to my channel. The weather outside is giving bowl of soup. It is hazy, steamy, and hot. If you know me, I just was introduced to tomato soup in the year of 2025. I don't blame my mother for anything that happens in my life, but I do blame her for that one thing, not sharing with me the joy of tomato soup and grilled cheese. Anyways, a lot of fashion girlies, we do enjoy fall. Oh, I put myself in that group. Last year there's a bit of discourse on whether or not one can be fashionable during the hotter seasons. And I wouldn't say that it's because people lack creativity. I think it's because we really want to prioritize comfort in hotter seasons. I want to reframe the mindset that less is more, or see the glass as half full rather than half empty. Some of these things I'd like to try are secondhand friendly, I can DIY it. Things that also just inspired me from different designers and what I've seen in person. And also just incorporating things that inspire me year round and adapting it to the warmer season. Let's just get into it, shall we? One of the first things I want to talk about is using a scarf. I am a sucker for a scarf. In fact, when I'm coming into the office, I'm always wearing some kind of scarf as an accessory, almost as if I'm trying to hide a hickey or something because of how often I'm wearing them into the office. But I've consumed a bit of images on the internet where people are using a scarf, but using it as a belt, but just to elevate a seemingly simple outfit. But I never thought of doing it this way. Again, not groundbreaking, very easy to do, but does so much. I love wearing monochrome. In my Art of Mid series, I always emphasize the power of monochrome. And this is a way to do a monochrome outfit and not destroying, the overall thing. This is like stupid easy. You can do it in the way that breaks the white or the monochrome look, or you can do it in a way where you're doing different tones, but all white. What I love about this is that it's kind of an inexpensive accessory. You can use it year round, and you can achieve this with lace, experiment with texture, crochet. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Doesn't add much weight to your outfit. You can walk out, feel fresh. Cool beans. Definitely my favorite silhouette is just wearing a plain white slip and then draping the scarf over the slip, whether it's around your waist or over your top. Something else that I also want to do this season, I would like to participate in more color combinations. Something that I will never take for granted is definitely my ability to see color and just see in general. And I want to celebrate that by wearing non-traditional color combinations. One thing about me, I am a quilter, and as a quilter, we're constantly looking for different color combinations because some pieces directly fall right next to another piece and it can make or break your project. And so I fell in love with this book called A Dictionary of Color Combinations. Boom. And you can go through this book and ingest an overwhelming amount of color combinations. Combinations that one has never thought of before. This is my favorite color combo right now.
Yay!
With such a cool color like the blue, but with the Van Dyke red, it actually makes it feel so warm. Whether that's pairing a top with a favorite pair of shoes, using your accessories to your advantage, or different pieces that you have. There's some color combos that I loved on recent runways. Shushu Tong's Spring 25 collection. There's like this really gorgeous like seafoam green red combo. It's so refreshing because the red that they opted for felt more like a fall because of combining it with such a cool color like that seafoam green. It felt like spring. Also, I really enjoy Bottega's spring collection, and I wouldn't reference Bottega's runway completely for the sake of color. That was also one of my favorite spring lines because of this purple sweater. I'm living. Another grayish lavender. This is probably something I can definitely do. Cinnamon. See, I want to try that. I use this for quilting. I also have the second volume. My good friend Kate got it for me. And what I love about the second volume is that they match patterns. That's really good inspo too. I'm gonna do this by picking out tops that are very distinct in color and then just putting them next to different pieces in my closet and seeing whether or not they would work. And this is definitely a topic for another video, but using physical media or physical references when it comes to dressing up, that will change the game for anyone completely, instead of scrolling on Pinterest. Mind you, I do enjoy Pinterest. Some of the pictures that I'm gonna be using in this video are from that. This will definitely give you your own idea. Speaking of quilts, I'm actually wearing one right now.
Whoa!
So the next thing I want to talk about is just the conflated idea of a shoe. I hold that conflated idea of a shoe. I love a really good provocative shoe. I like a strange silhouette. But when it comes to summer, do you really want to stuff your feet into like hot leather? Leather can get hot. And I know this may seem silly, but this is a personal anecdote video. I want to find a really good black flip-flop. A flip-flop, a black sandal. I'm not talking about a really intricate strappy sandal. A black flip-flop for me is an edit. And I know I may fall into the accusations that I'm going to enjoy a black flip-flop because I'm a minimalist. That is so untrue. It's purposeful, it's inexpensive. Is there anything else I need to say about a black flip-flop? Free the toes. The internet made it weird. Something that I absolutely adore across all seasons is hardware. Whenever I see a La Mer runway, I look for a very specific detail, which is hardware closures and snaps. You know, I'm like a niffler. So if I see something shiny, I'm like, oh, I need it. Very small detail elevates and makes it different. Whether it's a metal ring, some kind of embellishment that involves hardware. I want to show you guys actually this bag that I got. Very simple bag. This alone is fine. And leather, it's very soft. The silhouette is interesting. But when you add the piercing, you could also remove this. I can't be playing around. This is so fun for me. What I was going to do is I was just gonna leave it in the back to make it just like a small detail. I'm gonna show you another top. Just the choice to do belt loop closure like this. They could have sewn it. And also this little tie moment with this amulet. This could have just sold as a regular schmegular tank. This definitely sold it. And especially during the summer seasons, we only tend to wear tanks or t-shirts or whatever. This is the best way to compensate. Not saying you have to compensate for anything, okay? Because again, I love elevating with just a detail or an accessory. The buttons are super cool. I know last year the bra over the white t-shirt was trending, but in this sense, these are buttons. Grommets on a tank top. That is so easy. We could do that. We could have done that yesterday. This one reminds me of the Mugler look that Kim Kardashian wore. Wet summer look. And you do this with a beading. That is so cute. You could literally thrift a white tank, get a really good quality basic, embellish it. I also love this cowhide moment. I think that's so fresh. Some of these tank silhouettes are so easy to make. Shout out to the person who took pictures front and back on this listing, because I could just copy it. But look, it's an elasticized back. Girl, I can do that. It's a DIY summer. That would be such a fun event to throw. Embellish your top and you bring your own shirt, but I bring the hardware and then we can make it together. On the topic of accessories and jewelry, suppose this interest started with my cousin-in-law, my husband's cousin. Whenever I would see her, she would wear very chunky necklaces and bracelets. And I even bought her a bracelet to add to her stack when we went on vacation together. And I also grew up watching my mom make jewelry as well. She had so many of these really chunky beads, and she made some of these necklaces for us. And you know, my mom's gonna watch this video and laugh because she gave away all of her beading stuff. I love the idea of wearing something so chunky, so whimsy on a very simple outfit. It's a way to incorporate color, different color combinations, the different bead shapes, types of beads. It's an effing candy necklace. This is super achievable, but some of these brands are trying to sell some of these necklaces, mass-produced necklaces, by the way, at a very unreasonable amount. I mean, I would rather buy a ton of beads, make them, one for myself, and share it with my girlfriends. Like, that's fun. Make your own summer chunky necklace. And this goes back to my color combinations book. I mean, look at that. Fun and whimsy. It's a DIY summer. It's a DIY summer. The next thing I'm gonna hop into is layering sheer. A specific runway, Ayo Yes, spring 2025, this picture and just this entire runway, this one specifically that I'm referring to, the silhouette is so interesting and modest. Sometimes I have a hard time showing my skin and body, but definitely I just like the suggestive idea of it. Helmet laying in spring 2000, huge sheer enthusiast. And also, also in the Philippines, the men wear, am I saying that right? I saw a woman wear one cut for her body. It was sheer more feminine silhouette. It was gorgeous, and I love that idea. And again, throw it on a seemingly simple outfit and it brings it from here to here. And I would also opt for something more colorful because it feels iridescent. I'm really enjoying that. I like the way that you can layer it across other seasons. Even in fall runways, they're promoting it. So you can just wear jeans, a top, and then an outerwear jacket on top because it's a layering piece. We can DIY this, guys. Find a curtain lining in the thrift store, cut that bitch, sew that, put it on. Done! Your seams can show and you can say that it's part of the design. Completely intentional. I talked a lot about accessories, but I want to kind of introduce a philosophy this time. Wearing a uniform and being comfortable with wearing a uniform. Having some kind of online presence that's centered around dressing up. I kind of have this self-imposed expectation that I need to come up with a different outfit every time, and that's completely untrue. I just started my new job about 6 months ago, but something that I really want to practice is being comfortable with wearing the same thing again and again for the sake of comfort, for the sake of utility, and also to maintain a professional image. I really want to be okay with wearing a white t-shirt and jeans like every day. Ultimately, when I put this list together, these are extremely achievable. Dare I say affordable. It'll force us to use our hands, our brain, and our eyes. Sure, I can buy a pre-embellished shirt, and I have, but I really would like to exercise my creativity and use my whimsy. Also, I don't accessorize enough. I'm not saying that I need to participate in some sort of maximalism to reach my nirvana of dressing up. The weather is out of our control, but that's not gonna stop us from being a bit more creative. Don't you think? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!